quarter with Carlton 2 points in front of Essendon. Essendon kicking with the wind in this quarter. It's a backhanded knock away by Mackenzie coming out to the wing. Brown missed it. Following up behind and being favoured by the bouncers Comben, who delivers it to the half-forward line into the wind. Over behind, nobody can mark. Doran is bumped very hard by Gill. Gill goes in and gets hold of the ball. And then is put down in a throttle hold by Shelton, and Clark's in trouble. Well, let's hope that's only a cork and nothing as serious as a cartilage. It's in the knee region at the moment, that's obvious, and we'll concentrate on Clark just as often as we can. That's Doran being pulled down with the ball by Hardy, as Clark right in the centre of the ground is in the hands of two trainers.
Clark hurt his knee, if you remember, against Melbourne last week when he was having a kick.
The bounce up with Mackenzie going forward against Nichols. Cox has hold of the ball for Carlton. His kick is only another 15 yards. Epis collides. The ball goes to Davis. Davis clears to the back line, to the half-back line that comes down towards Anderson of Carlton. Anderson quick passes it out towards Wesley Lofts. He is pulled down by Ken Fraser. The ump says he pushed Lofts in the back. It's a free kick to Wesley Lofts against Ken Fraser, with Clark still being worked on by the trainers. One of the really great players in the Victorian Football League over many years, Jack Clark, in trouble at this moment with Wesley Lofts taking his kick, a free against Ken Fraser on the half-forward flank. It's short. Silvani takes it. Well, I'm relieved, like everybody else, to see that not as bad as one would have thought. Silvani has a kick, and it's a bad one.
That was a shocking attempt by Silvani to kick for that goal. He just wanted to put the ball onto his foot. He didn't even drive it. There's the throw-in. Fraser's there, so is Nichols. The ball is taken away by Hardy. He's been tackled by Timms as he gets a kick. He's put off balance and again gets over the line. Clark's running around more freely now. We hope it wasn't his knee. And there's the throw-in again up the other end as Sampson goes for it, knocks down towards Davis. Hardy is there. Davis battles on, taking the ball further away from the goals. And there's a kick off the ground by Timms towards Collins. Coming in strongly as Capuano. Capuano kicks out towards the centre wing position where we see Carlton's James. And he's going to be thrown in.
Magnificent shot of an Electra coming in right over the ground here, lining up the east-west runway for its approach as the ball is thrown. Look at this, coming right in above the ground. It's a Qantas Electra. Play underway as the plane goes right over the top of us. Ball picked up by Russell Blue. His drop kick is onto the half-forward line. Picked up by Anderson coming upfield to meet it from the half-back line for the Blues. He delivers it to the half-forward line. Mark not allowed or paid here as Doran clears again. Doran puts it back to the half-forward line for the Dons, and the mark is taken by Lofts, who outpointed Ken Fraser. The score is still 2 points the difference, 8-8 to 8-6, with Carlton on top. Carlton kicking into the wind in this quarter, Essendon with the wind. No score since this quarter started.
Williams is leading in the race for the ball, being chased by Johnson. He did well to get his kick. Williams up towards the forward line. Silvani's in front, and a mark to Silvani, but he's away out from goal. Couldn't possibly make the distance. He'll have to look for a lead. He kicks it high in the air. It's coming up into the goal square. Mackenzie's setting himself, and Barry nearly marked the ball, but Epis is there. Coming through strongly is Barry. A left foot snap by Barry. Carlton are 8 points in front.
The goal kicked by former full-back Peter Barry.
Well, it was a gigantic goal by Barry that time, and just before three-quarter time, Buckley was taken off. Barry came on, didn't take his place, but he went into the forward pocket, and Riley's now playing in the back pocket.
4 minutes of play has so far transpired in the last quarter, and a valuable goal to Carlton, kicked against the wind.
Williams onto the half-forward line, bounces towards Cox. Cox has to go back for it, gets the run of the ball, and he's outed by Shaw. Hardy's on the ground, now he's quickly onto his feet. The umpire's going to bounce it. He'll bounce it on the half-forward line on the outer side, with Carlton kicking into the wind, and a very strong wind. It's been consistent all day, kicking into the stand goal. Shaw, bumped by Hardy. His kick is in first, and it's out about there. Some time before they get this ball back, I think. Oh no, somebody's bobbed up with it. The scoreboard is the same as at three-quarter time. We're now 7 minutes into the...
+1 goal kicked by Carlton.
You're right. Shelton. Fraser pushed down by Lofts. In the back. Scoreboard the same, but for one goal kicked by Carlton a couple of minutes ago. Nobody's willing to go in and get it. Somerville's having a race for it now. Nichols comes and nearly kicks somebody. It's Somerville again. Somerville wins his kick with tenacious play into the full forward pocket. Rogers comes out to meet it. This is Carlton's Rogers, the fullback. Kicks a high punt kick, which is covering plenty of ground into the wind. Over there onto the wing it goes. Capuano molested by Williams. It's Capuano's kick.
So far the marks are 56 to Carlton, 52 to Essendon, and the free kicks are 27 each. Capuano has the ball in the centre wing, drives it down towards the centre half-forward position where Fraser tries to mark it. The ball is picked up by Wesley Lofts. He kicks it back to the centre of the ground. A chance for Gill if he can pick it up. Shelton's chasing him over towards Collins. Good play by Gill. Gives the ball to Collins. He kicks up towards the forward line. Barry gets underneath it. He couldn't mark it, but it's one more point. The ball bounces and kept going Carlton's way. It's 9 goals 9. Carlton leading Essendon 8 goals 6. That's an advantage of 9 points. We've been playing 7 minutes into the last quarter.
Well, Carlton are playing their better football against the wind. They were better in the second quarter, and they're better in this quarter too. They seem to have the ability to close the game up.
There's the kick out by Doran. Lovely kick towards Shelton. Oh, a lovely mark too by Shelton, who's played well all day. He and Gill have had some wonderful duels. Fraser, at least Shelton, runs around Gill, bounces it and then kicks it down towards the half-forward line. Shelton falls to the ground afterwards, picked up by James, gets it back to the centre of the ground, and there's a good mark by Russell Blue, a one-hander. Took it from one hand to the other. He's going back to the centre line. He'll be back towards the half-back line. 9-point advantage to Carlton. They're clinging to it. There's the kick by Russell Blue. Somerville sets himself, couldn't mark it. The ball is over the pack. Rogers comes around. That's Rogers of Carlton. Gets his kick wide towards the half-back flank, but it's straight into the arms of Somerville.
Still 9 points the difference, with Carlton in front of Essendon. Essendon with the wind and Somerville with the ball on the half-forward line. It's off the right-hand part of the instep. It goes right across the face of Sticks into the far pocket. Benetti's chasing it, finds the bounce of the ball difficult, and then can't keep his footing. The wind advantage here would certainly make up for more than the deficit at the moment, but Essendon aren't using it to their advantage. That's James trying to kick the ball through the pack. Rogers has a kick. Bounces back to James. James clears the ball to centre half back. It'll be marked here by Nichols. And this giant of a man, the captain of Carlton, John Nichols, at centre half back, is slowing down play so that his defenders can pick up their men. Now he kicks the ball almost to the centre of the ground and he misdirects it. Jack Clark takes the mark.
How many times has Nichols kicked it to an Essendon player today? If that's not the 8th or 10th time, I would like to know. Clark will send it back towards Essendon's scoring zone. Kicks it high in the air. This time it is Rogers of Carlton leading out and marking well in front of the pack. Well, he's a good find for Carlton, this lad. He's been played in the reserves in the seconds all year, and he's come up and he has done very well last week, and he's doing very well again today.
Rogers. Oh, kicks into the man on the mark. Payne nearly knocked his head off. The ball's gone out at a tangent towards Williams. He's grabbed by Rogers, but he gets his kick in. It's to the far wing on the cantilever stand wing. It's Nichols, the captain, coming into the play. Punches for Best, who wasn't there. It's picked up by Essendon in Brown, and they clear the ball to Rogers. Rogers takes the mark. Rogers on the half-forward flank for the Dons. Somerville up behind. Payne it was behind, not unlike Somerville. Then he's pulled down by Rogers, who wants to eat the ball, but Payne is being given the mark. Payne, in a flash of play with his dark locks, looks very much like Somerville. But of course, when you get a chance to have a good look at them, they're not that much alike at all.
Charlie Payne has already kicked 2 goals for Essendon. He lines this up, he drives it into the goal square.
Riley's mark.
Carlton defenders are playing a very strong game here. Riley particularly playing well. Rogers, their fullback, is playing an exceptionally good game.
There's the kick out by Riley, out towards Big John. High above the pack was Wesley Lofts. He couldn't hold it. Knocked away by Stewart, out towards Barry. Barry's playing the ball on in front of him. Gets it, his pick. Good play by Barry. Up towards the half-forward line. David Shaw. But the umpire says play on. Coming through strongly is Gill. Shelton has the ball, handballs it across the Shaw. Shaw runs around and gets his kick towards the half-forward line. And there's another good mark to Terry Rogers, number 2 for Essendon. Now the boundary umpire and the goal umpire are conferring with each other about this mark. The boundary umpire has ruled that he took the second bite over the boundary line. Obviously he took the first one inside, the second one over. Therefore it's out of bounds. The throw-in, Sampson against Nichols. Neither could win the knockout. The ball, Barry Capuano, was brought to the ground as he fell over himself or else over his opponent's leg, and Ron Brophy will bounce it up. Valuable time is ticking away for Carlton because we've been playing for 10 or 11 minutes into the last quarter. Carlton only led by 2 points. Now they lead by 9. The ball is kicked up towards the centre of the wing position. Comben is there, and a good mark to Comben. The boy from Werribee. He runs around his man on the mark, and then he kicks up towards the centre half-forward position. He's looking for Sankey. McKenzie is there, backs it inside. Silvani has it, handballs it across to Trevor Best. Trevor Best drop kicks it towards the goals. A lovely goal by Trevor Best. If that had not have been a goal, there would have been another free kick because Best was brought to the ground after he had kicked it. Carlton have gone away to lead 10 goals 9 to 8 goals 6.
Trevor Best, who made a great entry to league football, collapsed in his first game, if you remember, and we were on the spot to report that to you. It was a lovely goal by him. Here's the bounce up now. Knocked on by Brown with a backhander to the half-forward line. Fraser is impeded in his approach. He's held when not in possession. It's his free kick. How are the Dons doing to your feeling, Jeff Lee?
Well, I'm not very happy with them at this stage, only because the goal that Carlton just scored has made it very difficult for the Dons, as Carlton defenders are well on top at this stage of the game.
12 minutes of play. Essendon haven't scored. Carlton have kicked 2 goals.
The kick by Fraser is back of the pack. This is Best racing for the ball now with Blue. Blue grabs Best. He punches the ball away. Comben's across the line. There'll be a throw-in on the half-forward line for Essendon, going with the wind to the outer goal. The Dons haven't scored in this quarter. It's the final quarter underway, and Carlton a couple of goals up, 15 points up. The ball to Jack Clark. Jack Clark must score a goal with this kick. It's well on its way to doing this. It's swinging away, and it hits the post.
Alec Epps has just come off down, and Gerlach is coming on for Essendon.
Carlton causing Essendon plenty of trouble. Over the back to Peter Barry, former full-back, so it was the new full-back kicking out to the old full-back for the Blues.
Gerlach has gone to the centre, and Brown has taken Epps' place on the half-back flank.
Barry kicks into the centre of the ground. Plenty of them fly for it there, and Jack Clark has been given the mark. The Essendon skipper was in trouble with a knee or shin injury, maybe an ankle injury some time ago, but seems to have recovered all right now and shows no sign, even though he kicked the ball badly. Goes towards Trevor Best, who goes in for it bravely again. Punches it to Lofts. Lofts kicks the ball to the half-forward line. Davis tries to outmark his opposition, but can't. Hardy busting through. Carlton are playing vigorous football. The ball going in for a score here, but not 6 points. 1 flag. And now it seems that a bit of cramp has come to young Greg Hardy. Silvani calls for a trainer. 70 points to 55. Carlton maintain their 15-point advantage.
We're 14 and a half minutes into the last quarter. Paul Doran kicks it out towards the half-back flank. Shelton goes for it, so does Davis, and Barry flies over the top. The ball on the ground, picked up by Cox. Handballs it to Williams. He's grabbed by Clark, and he's going to be penalised. Well, I think they're a bit tough on this one, Ron Brophy. Clark gets it, plays on. Tries to get his kick, and he runs into trouble. Picked up by Barclay Cox. Cox drives it into the goals. And it looks like curtains for Essendon. Another goal to Carlton to make them 11 goals 10.
Well, this is a very sad day out here at Essendon. These Essendon players are not playing certainly as if there's double chances depending on the outcome of this game. The Carlton defenders are playing very well. Their forwards are going well, and they're breaking away from the packs, and they have a little bit more pace at this stage of the game.
Comments from Jeff Leake, former Bomber champion. GDV at the football. Another bounce up. Mackenzie knocks it down for the Dons. Clark picks it up. Here's a captain's effort. He's being chased by Comben. He decides to kick the ball to Payne. Payne's been moved out from full forward. Got 2 hands to it. The umpire's going to give him the mark.
It is to Somerville, but I've no doubt it wasn't for the mark, because I was watching Brophy and he ruled that it was a push in the back against Anderson.
Pan left from there, if you will. You'll see Jimmy Carstairs running along the boundary line in there, egging on the Essendon team. He's the official messenger. The ball goes up through Somerville. It's in towards the full forward zone. A huge pack flies. Payne appeals for the mark. He's been given a 2. Play on, they say. Fraser takes it from there, kicks for the goal, but I don't know what umpire Brophy intends to do. Time will tell.
I'd say he has no doubt he's going to award the mark to Charlie Payne.
Byers, number 37, you saw in the picture a moment ago, is just going onto the field. Going up to the forward line, Payne has been given the mark, and Payne from about 30 yards out and straight in front. The wind, a great help, ready to kick for goal now. Essendon really need this. He gets it through. I didn't think he did when it left the boot.
The goal umpire was right there, no mistake. A goal to Essendon, a badly needed one. That is Charlie Payne's 3rd goal. Essendon are 11-10. They are leading, Carlton are 11-10, leading Essendon 9-7.
They've moved Payne onto the ball and into the full forward pocket. This is Fordham coming up. He was injured earlier.
Terry Rogers has gone to full forward.
And taking over Rogers' place on the half-forward flank is Byers. That's the Essendon shake-up at the moment. There's still 15 points separating the sides with the Blues in front. It's been a great half by Carlton. Here they go again. This is Sankey with the ball, kicking it into the wind, which is so strong. Carlton have been scoring well against the wind. Doran handballs to Brown. Brown kicks the ball not too far. It's coming down towards Silvani, and Silvani takes the mark. Carlton playing like a team possessed now. They're 6th on the list, but like tumbling Essendon for the 2nd time this year. 17
minutes of play gone. A bad kick by Silvani, but Comben's in front and has marked the ball in front of Blue. The red-headed terror. 17 minutes of play gone, and it's a 15-point advantage to Carlton as we see the ball in the hands of Comben. He's at centre-half forward. He drives it up towards the full forward position where it's going to be an easy mark to Graham Johnson in the back pocket. He was unopposed. He has the ball, will kick it straight down towards the centre of the ground. Silvani sets himself and has marked it again at centre-half forward. Silvani being helped up by his teammate Stewart. I would say there'd be 14 minutes of play left. Therefore, Carlton's lead is pretty good. There's a good kick by Silvani towards the forward line. Shelton is there and has marked the ball in the full-back position for Essendon. Shelton, the strong man from Avenel. He will kick the ball well up the centre of the ground.
Shelton uses the punt kick. He's been doing drop kicks for most of the day. This covers plenty of distance. 2 Carlton brothers fly. Behind the pack, it's Loft with the ball. A free kick in the pack, and it's going Essendon's way. Fraser evidently pushed out or shepherded, and Fraser at centre-half back will kick the ball to centre-half forward, straight down the ground. Anderson marks. Good mark by Anderson of Carlton. Carlton looked like jumping from 32 points to 36 after today's game, unless Essendon really shake themselves up and get a few goals on the board. Anderson's kick is over the back of the pack. It's knocked forward, and coming in to meet it is Byers. Byers is down. Carlton go on with it through James. He short passes towards Greg Hardy. The ball is out of play. 15 points the difference. 11-10 to 9-7. Carlton up. And we've been playing for nearly 20 minutes into the final quarter.
There's the bounce, and we see Sampson knock it down. Sampson's going for the free kick to Barclay Cox. He was grabbed by Timms. He wasn't in possession of the ball. Cox is on the half-forward flank. 65 marks to Carlton, 60 to Essendon, 32 free kicks each. And there's Barclay Cox with the ball. Oh, Davis ran over the mark. The umpire allowed it, going up towards the forward line. Nobody can mark the ball. The umpire says play on. It's picked up by Silvani. Handballs it out, but it's Shelton comes through strongly, gives it across to Johnson. Johnson's bounced it once on the back line. He's bounced it twice. 3 times he's bounced it. And then he drives it up towards the half-forward flank, where we see Riley and going Somerville, and Charlie Payne it is. And Charlie Payne, I've got Tony-itis. I can't tell the difference either between Somerville and Payne. Payne has it.
Payne kicks it straight into the man and gets a rebound. It came straight off Riley's shins and bounced back to him. He follows up with a good kick this time to Rogers. Rogers got a fire. Snapped up by Byers. It's only one flag, I'm afraid, for the Don supporters.
Don supporters like myself are very upset at this stage of the game because they're missing some valuable opportunities right here and now, and Carlton are still playing very strongly.
Essendon, 2 crushing defeats in a row, are having now to very seriously face up to the prospect of 3 in a row. Carlton beat them by a goal on May the 11th in their first meeting this year and looked like beating them again by a greater margin. Here's the kick out, right there to the back lines. Sampson appeals for the mark and umpire Brophy says it's yours. Sampson goes back and a big kick needed here, and he wants to position it well too. Somerville coming in ready to fly. They're crowding in on Rogers. Up goes Clark, and up behind and taking the mark is Wes Lofts. State centre-half back Wesley Lofts went on the interstate trip. And only 19 years of age. Kicks the ball wide to the flanks. Capuano trying to get into stride. Cox keeps it across the line.
And if Essendon are beaten here and St Kilda beat Collingwood by enough, Essendon could go out of the 4. The ball is knocked by Sampson up towards the half-forward line. Byers is going for it. Gets the ball. Well shepherded by Capuano. He's grabbed by Stewart. Gets a left foot to it. We see the mark taken by Hardy. Handballs it across to Sankey. Sankey back to James. James plays around the pack, gets it up towards the half-forward line. Davis is there, and so is Cox. And Cox is in front. And Cox is Carlton's best player today. He's playing really well to beat a very good opponent in Barry Davis. Cox is steadying his side down. He's on the centre wing position. Drop kicks it well up towards the half-forward flank. We see Shaw going for it, and also Silvani. It's over the boundary line and out of bounds. 21.5 minutes of play has gone in the last quarter. Carlton lead by 14 points. Ball is on the ground, coming through strongly as Timms gets the ball, turns around, kicks it wide towards the centre wing position, and it's over the boundary line and out of bounds. Therefore, if there's 5 minutes of play left, there's only about 5 or 6 minutes of time on. 10 minutes will see it out.
Best players for the match for Carlton is Cox, James, Gill, Williams and Nichols, and for Essendon, Shelton, Brown, Johnson and Shaw.
Still 14 points the difference, with another throw-in coming up to be added to the many. Carlton kicking as well into the wind in this half as they did with it earlier. Graham Johnson on the forward line for Essendon, centres it to Somerville. He can't mark, it's behind towards Payne. Racing in, however, and beating all to it is Riley. Riley's kick goes to Stewart on the back line. Stewart on the half-back flank, kicks up that cantilever stand wing. The ball is out of play again. Now it bounces back into play. Essendon have 2 players there. One of them is Capuano, who does the kicking. Capuano slung into the fence. Carlton 14 points up. Nichols versus Sampson. They try and edge one another out. It's Hardy of Carlton, the rover, taking the ball. Silvani's mark.
Silvani's going to have that given against him, and will go to Paul Doran. But umpire Brophy ruled that he pushed him out before the ball got to him.
Paul Doran's kick is coming downfield to the centre of the ground. Lofts is grabbed by Byers. Behind, the ball is taken by Carlton, who kicked poorly, and in the centre it's Russell Blue. Russell Blue for the Dons. Time is very much against Essendon now. 14 points down. They've got to hurry the play up. The ball down to centre half forward. Fraser can't mark the ball. Got 2 hands to it. Went to Anderson, who gives it to Best. Trevor Best for Carlton kicks the ball wide to the wing. Essendon mark here through Blue, who was about to play on. Then he saw Comben on his right-hand side, blocking his approach to goal. And Comben is as fast as anybody in league football today, so he stopped. Smart move by Russell Blue. He steadies, plays for Fraser. Fraser can't mark. Over the back, Hardy dropped it. Somerville picks it up. Somerville hooks one in towards the big sticks. It's a long shot. Might score 1 flag, but it certainly won't score 2. 1 flag it is, and 13 points separate the sides, with time really ticking against the Dons.
I would say we've played 23.5 minutes of play has gone already in this last quarter.
A lot of these shots on the forward line that Essendon are having haphazard shots because the Carlton backmen, with Lofts and James playing closer, forcing them into these harried shots.
That's Rogers, the fullback for Carlton, kicking off with a lovely drop kick, and over the back it's John Nichols taking the mark. And unless Essendon can, with a concerted drive, keep the ball in their forward line from this point on, I would say the game was over. It's an incredible performance by Carlton, considering the fact that they have dominated the play in this final quarter and over the last half, particularly in this quarter when kicking into the wing.
Nichols has kicked out towards the boundary line, and it's been knocked away by the Essendon player. It is over the line. I would say there'd be 6 minutes of play left, counting time on, and Essendon are trailing by 13 points. There's the throw-in. The scoreboard shows 14, but I think it's 13. There's a ball, the sharp by Clark. Clark left, ports it up towards Fraser. Wesley Lofts there, the ball beats him, picked up by James, back towards the centre of the ground. Comben gets it, nearly falls over. He does so now. This allows Blue to come in. He kicks it out towards Benetti. Benetti gets the ball, drives it, out of bounds. Up in the air, but it's still on the... No, it's out of bounds, all right. It was pretty high. And although the scoreboard shows that Essendon are trailing by 14 points, I think it's only 13. Waiting for the ball to be thrown in. Sampson against Nichols. Sampson wins it, knocks it down, straight towards James. James gets his kick before Clark can push him out of the road. Blue comes in for it. Blue gets the ball. He's pushed aside, gets a kick. Essendon players going in strongly. Comben comes in, beats them all with superior, absolute fantastic pace. But David Shaw comes well down towards the centre and takes the mark.
Carlton 71 marks, Essendon 68. Carlton 34 free kicks, Essendon 32.
We have been playing in the last quarter for 26 minutes. Essendon 9-9 are trailing Carlton 11-10.
It's a free kick here, and it's Comben to get it. Comben on the centre wing. Brother of Bruce, who gave Carlton great service. Comben kicks the ball towards Shelton, who takes the mark, with others standing down. Russell Blue drops it. Jack Clark will have to help Essendon out. Handballs it on towards it. This is Benetti coming out for the ball. It was meant for Johnson. Now it goes back to Johnson through Clark. This time the handball's okay, and Johnson again goes for a run with the ball. This is a rough up between Clark and Collins. In the meantime, Somerville has taken the ball on the half-forward flank. He kicks the ball in towards the goals, and it's a goal to Essendon through Somerville. That rough up between Clark and Collins was happening miles behind play. Not often one sees Jack Clark in a situation such as that.
28 minutes of play has gone. And Carlton lead by 9 points. We've already learnt that St Kilda defeated Collingwood by about 14 goals. Therefore, if Essendon get beaten, they slide out of the four.
Essendon come forward. But the way the play is going, it might not be for long. A kick off the ground by Williams. Blue is swatted in his attempt to kick. So is Barry, picked up by Gill. Gill plays on, but the ball has been brought back.
It's a free kick to Barry. Barry was pulled after he had bounced the ball, and he will take the free kick at centre half forward. Valuable time kicking away for Essendon, although time on is being added now. But I've worked it out with 7 minutes of time on. The game would finish in another three and a half minutes. Essendon need 2 goals in 3.5 minutes, and Barry has the ball kicking towards his goal.
Barry's kick is high and it's long too. It's within 10 yards of the goal square. Over behind, they race for it. A kick off the ground here could be costly. Shaw rescues for the Dons, kicks the ball into the hard scoring pocket, and there it's out of play. 7 points the difference. Mackenzie versus Sankey, picked up by David Shaw. Defending grimly, his kick comes right downfield towards Comben of Carlton. Comben goes back in towards the sticks with the ball. Still keeps it in front of him, helped out by Williams. Williams shepherded for by Barry. Williams' kick is into the pocket, and Shaw marks again. Shaw's defence work in these 10 minutes has been terrific. Shaw from the back line kicks the ball high and long. It's going down there towards the... Oh, that's Byers over the back of the pack. Gerlach. Gerlach to the half-forward line. Anderson can't mark. Davis shoots it out with a half throw, I thought, towards Fraser. Fraser couldn't pick it up. Players very wary now. Benetti's on the ball. The umpire's going to split the play and bounce it. Mackenzie knocks it down, picked up by Benetti. He kicks it way out there onto the wing, and Capuano is leading in the race for the ball, but coming from the other side and at a tangent is Cox. Cox gets there in the nip of time. He's pretty fast. He short passes towards Williams. Williams makes good his ground and takes the mark. He's in front of the small scoreboard. He relays the ball upfield towards Hardy, who wasn't there in time. The ball is taken by Essendon. They relay it back with a hand pass. Shaw bumped out of the way. Play is pretty furious here, and GTV's cameraman right on the ball. Hardy has it. He's on the wing. He brings it back into play, punches it on. That's a valuable ground one, as the ball is now halted right on the perimeter with a throw-in or a bounce-up required. It's a throw-in with the score still 7 points the difference, and Carlton winning the game.
There's the ball coming out towards Gill. He's brushed aside by Shelton. The ball being brushed aside. Shelton knocks it again out towards Gerlach. Gerlach has it. He's had a bounce. Then he drives it down towards the half-forward line, looking for Timms. The ball bounces for Timms. Carlton, can they hang on to this lead? Timms brushes it aside, drives for the goals. And it's 1 point to Essendon to make them 10-10, trailing Carlton, who are 11-10. 1 goal of difference, and I don't think there could be more than 60 seconds left.
29, full-back for the Blues. Rogers taking his time. He might be a newcomer to league play, but he certainly knows the situation as it exists now. If Timms had kicked that for a goal, it could have been a thrilling contest. Well, it still is certainly that, isn't it? Up they fly, and is this an Essendon mark? It is. It's Fraser's mark. The siren's gone. And again, twice in a row, Carlton have beaten Essendon by 1 goal.